Call this meeting to order. This is a meeting of the Ortonville Village Council. It is Monday, November 24th. It's 10 after 7, and we have a meeting tonight and an agenda. What I'd like to do is call the meeting to order and ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. If nobody objects, I'll be happy to lead. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. That calls the village council meeting to order. What I would like to now is have, if somebody on the village council would make a motion to close the village council meeting and to open up a ZBA meeting that we will then take place right now.
So moved.
Okay, moved and supported. Those in favor? Aye. Okay. We are now in a brand new meeting, and this is the Zoning Board of Appeals. We did have one small issue. It's going to probably take seconds, but with that in mind, we are going to, I'm going to call the Zoning Board meeting to order, and we are going to stand and we get to, hopefully nobody forgot the Pledge of Allegiance in the last minute or two, but we get to say it again. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much for indulging us. The zoning board meeting is now open. What the zoning board meeting has on its agenda tonight is the approval of minutes from the zoning board meeting that we had earlier this spring, I think, or
Last month.
Last month. But if we don't do it now, we might not be able to approve it. So we have to approve the minutes so that they then can go into the village records and be available to anyone and everyone. So this is a formality. It's just to approve the minutes of our last meeting. And do we need a roll call? Let's do roll call anyways.
You want a motion to approve?
Yeah, we'll do the roll call first because I jumped.
Okay.
I
I see what
jumped.
you're saying.
Go ahead with the roll call.
Brooks.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Hayden.
Present.
Quisenberry.
Here.
Balker.
Here.
Nivell.
Here.
And Randazzo is absent with
Okay. So we have the agenda. It's the minutes of the last meeting, and if there's a motion, we
I
can
make
move
a
forward.
motion to approve the zoning board of appeals meeting minutes dated October 27, 2025.
Support.
Wow, moved and supported for the ZBA minutes. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those minutes now are official, and they'll become part of the Ortonville Village records from here until eternity.
I make a motion to close the ZBA meeting and return to the village council meeting.
Support.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are no people opposed to it, therefore, the village meeting is back on track where it was. That was a whole 3 minutes. Approval of agenda. That's number 4 on our list, and I had a chance to look it over, and I spoke with the village manager about it, and I'm convinced it's a good agenda to move forward with.
Make a motion to approve our agenda for tonight's regular meeting.
Okay, moved and supported. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the agenda is all set. The citizen presentation is what comes next. The Citizen is, of course, one of those newspapers that's been part of our hometown for as long as I've been around and probably as long as everybody else has amazing job of covering local politics and local issues and things that we would never get if we just got the Detroit Free Press. So our thanks go out very much because I know how difficult it is for smaller publications, especially in this world of internet and everything else, that it's tough sometimes to stay afloat, but they do such a good work of grassroots hometown reporting. And I think they're worthy of every accolade that we could possibly give them. However, we are going to officially give them one right now. And is there anyone here from the citizen that maybe would like to accept an award from the village council?
Shelby and Dave, come on forward. So, those of you who don't know, or may not know, Shelby and Dave are here representing the, no, I'm sorry, Eric. I don't know where I read this. No, I was reading another note, I'm sorry. So Shelby and Eric are here from the Citizen newspaper. Citizen has been providing news to Ortonville and Brandon Township for 30 years. They just celebrated their 30th anniversary. And we thought, boy, for all the appreciation we have for the stories they cover in our community, not to mention the township more broadly, but bringing the stories that are us. And so we had a little memento made to honor the occasion of 30 years, and we also invited a couple of local dignitaries who are going to join us up here as well. So Commissioner Bob Hoffman.
This is an award for the citizen.
Fantastic.
And honestly, it's from the village, and we can't express our appreciation enough. That sometimes goes unspoken, but nonetheless, it's appreciated every day, every week when we go to the mailbox and we get that one and we're looking through it. I'm usually looking for what Beaky's has on sale that week, but
Hear that?
yeah. But nonetheless, it's just so it's so enjoyable to read local news and see the sports and the little news coverages and the things that go on in your paper that we would not have if not for you. So I can't thank you enough. And this is so, and this is on behalf of the village council and the whole village. But thanks so much.
Yeah. And then you have many more to go.
Yeah, this is not the first
We have
one.
two more officials coming up. Nice, thank you.
That's gonna
We also have Oakland County Commissioner Robert Hoffman and a representative from State Representative Josh Shriver's office, Ty Bomarino. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Bomarino.
Oh, so close. Who are also
Mr.
going to make
Hoffman,
a
right?
presentation.
It's nice to meet you for the first time. Okay, how about this? I've known you for 30 years anyways, at least.
I was in junior high.
Yeah, oh, well, no, I was in elementary, you were in junior high. So,
First of all, I want to thank all of you, or whoever was responsible for changing the location tonight, because I don't know if it's true, but I heard that people heard I was going to be here, and they wanted a larger.
well, we needed a bigger venue.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We tried for the Palace of Auburn Hills, but they tore it down.
Yeah.
So we're stuck with this.
Yeah, exactly. I think our greatest freedom is freedom of the press. And if we ever lose that, we've lost everything. And I really appreciate what you do. I am a little older, and so I still like reading a print newspaper. But you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
And I want to congratulate you, compliment you, and on behalf of the entire Oakland County Board of Commissioners, I want to present you with this proclamation on the 30th anniversary, or 31st, or 30th. Time flies.
And going.
Just fine. Thank you.
Let me get a picture here.
All right.
All right, and we're good. All right, we got that 20-minute speech ready?
Yes, now let's hear from the state representative, or the state representative's office.
Office, yeah.
About a foot too short to be safe.
All right.
Well, then that makes me 2 feet too short. So, Anyway, go right ahead.
We wanted to thank you personally for the work you've been doing, 30 years, big deal. I was the intern for Representative Schreiber over the summer, and my main task as the intern was to keep up to date on local news. I'm from St. Clair myself, so after 4 months of being the intern, I feel like a native Ortonville citizen now. So just thanks so much. I read through the Ortonville, the Record, and the Leader. Must say the Citizen. You can't do this.
Oh, hands down. That's the one.
Thank you so much. Special tribute.
Just think better area to be too.
Yeah.
That's our news part.
Okay, picture. And Representative Schreiber is not here because he just had a baby 2 weeks ago, Otto. So thank you, Ty, for coming.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I know he appreciates it, and tell him that we thank him as well.
Yeah.
If the council would join for a picture, please. Commissioner?
Shortest guy to be in the back. Not how it works. You're the, okay, let's squeeze that in here. I'll get a little closer, I guess.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Thanks.
Photos are all good.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is.
Take care. Thanksgiving to you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Sir. Yeah. Are you I'm not. I'm never met you.
Pardon me for 1 minute. Approval of council minutes. The village council met on October 27th, and those minutes are in our packet, and we need to approve those and make them official.
Make a motion to approve our regular village council meetings of October 27th, 2025.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The next is the public hearing that we held on October the 27th about the community development block grant was held, and that has its own set of minutes, and we need to approve those as well.
I make a motion to approve the CDBG public hearing minutes held at Old Town Hall on October 27, 2025.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported twice, which is one more than necessary, but nonetheless, still moved and supported, and those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, those are accepted. That means all the council minutes leading up till now have been accepted and are part of the village council's records. Next is acceptance items. These are items that come into the village office that don't require our approval, but they do require our acceptance because they have something to do with village government. So other places that hold meetings send us copies of their information, and then we include it in acceptance items, which means we're acknowledging the fact that we're aware of it. We aren't approving it, we're not vouching for it, we're just accepting it. So these are the acceptance items, the ZBA meeting, and of course the treasurer's report is also just an accepted item, and we have those in our packet as well. Being that they don't need a vote, those are accepted at this point, and it takes us to our disbursements. Number 8 on our agenda is the disbursement. That's the money that the village spends day to day for various things. But it's our monthly bills, and it's what you gotta do, and it's what we gotta do. You get your bills in, and you pay them, and you make a ledger of them, and then that's for this board's approval right now.
Motion to approve our payables ending September 2025 in the amount of $267,838.07.
Support?
Okay, we have a motion and support for paying the bills. Because it's an expenditure item, it requires a roll call vote, and I would like one right now.
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Quisenberry,
Yes.
Bumper,
Yes.
Nivell,
Yes.
Okay, that was everybody, right? 6, nothing? That passed? Okay, we can pay the bills. Good to go. Next is public comments. I do notice we have some people here in the audience. I'm hoping that they all came here to address the village council about one matter or another. But nonetheless, I'm going to open this session as mayor. Is there anybody who would like to speak to the village council? I see a hand. Actually, yes, I do. And I apologize because sometimes the sound isn't good here, so you definitely have to speak.
I can speak up.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure you
I
can.
can't get any taller than this, but I
Well,
can. So I'm a Brandon resident, and I'm proud to say a former 5-year reporter for the city.
Oh, wow. Well, you get congratulations 2 ways. But before we begin, we would like to know what your name is.
And so my name is Terry Stiles, and I am the manager for Oxford Community Television. And thanks to Shelby, I'm aware of the fact that you are in a position to decide on how to cover the events in your village.
That's correct.
We've been in business at Oxford Community Television since 1986. I've been there since 1998, 28 years. We make it our business to cover everything that's going on in our village as well as our township. We cover both, as well as Addison Township. We have 10 programs that we air daily that features everybody and everything in our community. We have one called View from the Top, where we every month interview officials in the community. It would be DPW or even an official head of a nonprofit, our veterans. We also do another program called My Life, and we interview interesting people or long-term people in the community. We cover senior exercise programs, senior recreation. We have programs for that. We continue to feature our businesses and promo our businesses. We cover the events, such as our parades with multi-camera shoots. You have September Fest, we cover something like that. We cover our museum events. I just want to let you know that we are willing to help and capable. We have 11 people that we employ, not all full-time, most of them are part-time. And we cover every meeting, live stream, everything we do. We live stream our parade, we live stream the meetings. We put everything on YouTube and Facebook, which not only reaches beyond our borders, but we've got people calling us from Florida, California, wanting to see their kids in the parade. So I just want to let you know, we're very willing to help.
Well, definitely we appreciate that. And as you know, we're kind of in the market for something like that.
Thank you, Shelby.
So your timing is good. And yeah, we got to grapple with a few things, but man, oh man, it's nice to know that there's some, options out there. And you would certainly be high on that list, that's for sure.
Anyone here is welcome to come over to our studio, or I can toss business cards at anybody if you have any questions. Come and see what we do. Or you can even go on Oxford Community Television YouTube to see what we do. In fact, probably shouldn't say this out loud, but we just did a promo for the entire village, all the businesses in the village. For one of the business owners asked us to do it through the DDA. We would also cover your DDA meetings and any DDA events. And that actually is going to go promote statewide for Shopping Saturdays as of today. It went on a soft opening on YouTube today and on our Facebook page. So if you want to look and see what we do, all of our employees are professional.
Well, we'll certainly look, that's for sure.
Yep, okay.
Because
keep in touch.
we're in the market for that, and
Great.
we want to look at all our options, and believe me, that sounds like an appealing.
Know that I know the community, we know the community well, and I live in the community as well.
So you live local, yeah?
Yes, I do.
That's what gives us all the feeling we have when we do live here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so
Thank you
much.
for
Anybody
listening.
else from the audience want to speak to the village council? Okay, it takes us past public comments, on to items from trustees. I'm going to start down at this end of the table with
I should have written things down.
Linda Brooks.
Yeah.
Do you really forget?
I'll just let you know some of the things I was involved with this month. I met with some more playground people at Crossland Park to get more ideas and opinions on different kinds of equipment and what those costs might be. And I continue to work with Stephanie Alowski from the DEA, and we are continuing to move forward. After the first year, we're going to really hit the ground running. And we are so close to getting our piece of equipment that was approved installed. We could just have a few more warm days possible. Today we had some meetings that talked a little bit about making progress on our Heritage Garden. That was interesting, nothing moving forward with that, but we did talk to a few architectural design people, and that was something that we are now at least hopefully moving a little more forward on that progress as well in the near future. That's about it.
Well, very good, thank you. Larry?
I've got one more slide. I've got Christmas in the Village. We are all set for the tree lighting, and that's going very well as well with the parade and tree lighting, and we are all set for our portion of it with contracting, also working with the high school fire director and having the fire come down again.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's the date on that, December?
It's fifth.
The 5th, okay. It's always a good reminder because it's coming up sooner than we think.
It's next week, yes.
And that's even, I thought it was in a couple weeks, but you're right. Sorry about that. Larry?
Actually, that's one of the things keeping me busy, because after Halloween, I have to get the Halloween stuff down and Christmas stuff up in time for the parade, because it's coming down in January.
Oh, boy. We don't get a break there, do we?
But speaking of Halloween, I thought that was great this year. I think we probably had as many or more kids than I've seen before. We know we had about 700 kids at our house, and that's a hard one. Not
Larry, it's amazing because the weather wasn't that great, but yet the numbers were sky high.
And I know downtown.
It wasn't
yeah,
snowing,
freezing.
but it wasn't
Rain, so.
75 or 80. But we've had some warm Halloweens. We've had some ones that were full of snow. This was one of the biggest attended ones I can ever remember. In 28 years at that house, it was as many people as I can ever remember.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was our biggest year yet, and I was really glad to see all the houses in the community that were decorating up for Halloween. I think it really kind of brings the community together at an event like that. I just love it. Been pretty busy otherwise, so not too much village related. Of course, I do see our DPW guys out there all the time working tirelessly, trying to make sure everything's running smoothly for the village, and I just want to express my appreciation for them. And that's it.
Thanks so much. Kay Green.
I agree with Larry. We had a great turnout at the DPW. We did it a little bit differently this year, and after 30-some years of doing it, we said, why didn't you just start doing it this way this year? Because it worked perfect.
We
So-
had an epiphany.
We did,
Yeah.
we did, way too late. But it went really well, and it's always interesting and cute to see everybody dressed up. And this year more than ever, they just kept thanking us and thanking us and thanking us. And so it was like, wow, that was there. They really like it. So
I think they appreciate it as we do.
Yes.
We appreciate them, and it's reciprocal.
Absolutely. The Personnel Committee has met a couple times this month, and we're, as you know, our clerk has left, and we're in the phase of trying to fill the administrative assistant / clerk position. You'll be hearing more about that. Matt may have some more information when we get to him. And then we're also we're gonna make a presence in the Christmas parade. We had hoped to do a float, but the company that we've used before with the trailers, you know, the tractors, trailers and everything, they just will not contact Matt. So, you know, I don't know what happened, but they're not really someone we can utilize this year.
Not responsive.
Yeah, so we're going to either, we've got a flatbed truck, we may use that and decorate it. We've talked about maybe the Polar Express or a couple of different things, you know, frosted snowman or whatever. Real understanding that, Linda, I know you're busy, Larry, I know you're busy with CERT, Tony's busy with his involvement in the parade. But I know the rest of us want to do something, so even if it's just walking, we're going to have a presence.
No, and that, I think that's a great path to go down. It really
That's
is.
all I have.
Okay, thanks. Alex?
Yes, so this month I spent a little time with Matt. We kind of talked about the cable franchise fee. We spent an hour or two talking about that, kind of hashing out a few things to get us farther down the road on what we needed to do. I spent this morning on that meeting about the Heritage Park. I was really insightful on learning on what they want to do and kind of the vision that I think we all kind of have. I think that's really cool. Other than that, I'm busy with some work and really enjoyed the Halloween. It was good. I would agree, a lot of people came down by me. We had a lot of adults. We have our little bar set up for the adults.
Of course,
and they always
yeah.
had a lot of people.
Never made it.
That's why this is such a big success.
We
is
were waiting for delivery.
many people do what you do, which is make this age unrestricted, meaning from
Social gathering.
6 years old to 96.
Kids get the treats and
The adults do as well. So
6 months.
I do something very similar.
That's all.
Thanks so much, Alex.
All
Go right ahead, Melanie.
Yeah, it's been extremely busy. Halloween, great. Kay and I worked at the DPW. I too sat in on the Heritage Park meetings this morning. Very interesting, more to come with that, I'm sure. I've been working also on the cable issue that I think is very important to all of us, and I know all of us have been talking with Matt, and I was really glad to see Terry and hear what you had to say. Thank you. Let's see, what else? Personnel meeting I attended, Kay did that. I actually wrapped presents at the library this year too, it's a volunteer thing, and I'm terrible at wrapping, but they took me anyways. Decorated the tree, my husband helped me, shout out to my husband, thank you. And
The village
Christmas-
tree.
The village tree,
Christmas tree.
yes, yeah, not my tree, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, all been done that.
We should do that too, but, you know.
Yeah. Christmas in the village, I've been attending those, and it is really going to be an exciting and bigger, better event this year with everything the DDA has going and Parks and Rec has going. There is something going on Friday and all day Saturday and every hour, all kinds of activities and events If you haven't checked it out online, please do. They even have gift wrapping that Hill Building is doing for you. Of course, drop your items off for gift wrapping, and then there's also classes on it. On the quilt, Hughes Quilting is doing an event as well. I think a couple other businesses, so.
And Santa will be here. and the-
Yes, on that Friday night, and I'm sure Matt will go more into that, but it's gonna be way bigger and better, and I'm very excited about it. It's way more organized, so thank you to everybody out there working on it. I did want to mention though, because I don't know if this is our last meeting, if we're having one in December, but we need to talk about luminaries, so I'm throwing that out there. Especially if it's our last one, we need to know the plan. And let's see what else. And the minutes. Minutes were excellent, Caitlin, and thank you. They were really well done, so thank you.
All right, good to go. That was the items from the trustees. It takes us to 11, unfinished business. We have a 2026 meeting date and village holidays that was in our packet. We get this every year. We just received this maybe a month ago, but based on what Amber, the clerk, had told us, the village council meetings were set, but the DDA and the planning commission, she did not know when they were going to have their meetings or not. And I had mentioned, well, that makes this sheet pretty much useless if the meetings don't correspond with what we have. And so Matt and her went over this, and obviously people from the DDA or the planning commission can make last minute changes, but it does give us a rough estimate of when we're all meeting, and we can compare calendars and say, okay, I need to go to this or this or this. So we have what I believe to be an updated version, and again, it can change because if something occurs in a particular month and that municipality or whoever it is, that entity decides to not hold a meeting, that's fine. But at least we have a good background here, a good starting point to know when all these other committees are meeting. So that was a fix-up that I requested, and I see that it's in here, so I can hang this,
Are we gonna vote on it?
well,
Or not?
we don't really approve it, we just are aware of it.
Yeah, that's okay. Because I have a couple questions about the other part of it.
Well, the deal
If
is,
we were gonna vote on it, if we're not. I
okay,
don't.
well, the council meetings involve us specifically. The DDA meetings, I think she was just filling in the blanks as she was filling in the blanks with the planning commission, going, okay, they normally meet the second Tuesday of the fourth Thursday of every month. And they write it in here. And that's all I was asking for is this as accurate as it can be for the moment? Because it can change and it sometimes does. But that's all this is, and it's for our purposes only. And I'll be able to
I do have one question on it.
go right ahead.
I noticed at the top it says all meetings are held in the old town hall. The planning commission used to meet in the village offices. Are all three boards meeting in this?
Well, let's just say, as of 3 o'clock this afternoon, we don't know where we're going to be meeting all the time. And those are negotiable items. So I don't know the exact location of every meeting we're going to have.
No,
I actually
Larry
like-
Planning has been meeting in here all year.
Okay, but if you
I
decided
answered
you wanted
the
to,
question.
but if you
Yeah.
decided you wanted to meet somewhere else, that's
You could.
okay. You can.
Yeah,
You're not-
well, we don't have we didn't have a conference room over there.
Okay.
So we have been meeting here all year. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is just here for our information only.
So are we meeting in December, and if so, what date?
I don't know.
This December?
This December.
Well, that was one of the things I wanted, I think meeting, it says December 14th, which to me is.
That's for next year.
I know, but it's right after I don't know why we decided we
year
wanted to
says
meet that
December
early, because
22nd.
we were meeting the 22nd was what we set for this year, and that's well before Christmas, and I don't know why we would want to push it up a week, because there's not a lot of time in between meetings if we move it up that far.
I know a lot of people are gone that week, so I don't know if I could. If you can make it, you can, if you can't, you can't. I just wanted to know, I think the council needs to know if we should plan it or shouldn't plan it, and for what date. 10.
I don't have a,
I thought
Doesn't
we
matter to
said
me.
the 16th, we would shoot for the 16th, and if we really don't have any business to.
Then we would cancel. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
when was that decided and who decided it? 'Cause on my
I don't think it's been
calendar it says that I
decided.
it.
We didn't decide it, when we were talking about it.
Right.
Yeah, I have a
We
22nd.
maybe talked about it in the personnel committee,
Oh.
and it's just not getting out here.
but that would have been just in conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
we
not-
didn't change it.
No, and that's
We
why
just
I'm bringing it
Talked
up.
about what might work if we did change it.
If we made it consistent like this year, it should be December 21st, which is still before, I don't know.
I mean, I have a conflict if you decide to move it up a week, and that's why.
I have a conflict on the 21st, so, and
I-
and around the holidays, it doesn't matter.
My
We can
point
make
is
it.
that it was scheduled for the 22nd,
Yeah.
and that's what I planned for, and
Sure.
for everyone to move it
We
now
haven't moved
to a week earlier, you know, I just don't think that's the right way to go. If we have a problem with it, we should not set it at the 22nd.
We shouldn't have.
I think when we decide that this is when our meetings are gonna be, we should do our best to hold those dates aside for that.
Well, so
And
That's why we
Yeah.
We have to
changed
be flexible.
next year, so
Yeah,
that we didn't
and
run
that's
into
why-
that problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't, as I said, I just feel like that we should be setting those dates aside and to just change them.
A lot of people are leaving town now, it's
We really should not have planned it for that.
Well, we shouldn't have, but we did.
Right,
so
and
now we
all of
need to
us
do something
approved
about it.
this.
Or not.
So, you know, I don't know, so Ken, if you want to tell us later what you're going to do?
No,
So we can
nothing.
move on.
I don't want to do nothing unless somebody wants to make a motion to cancel the meeting. Because typically in December, at least my last 2 Decembers, we didn't even meet because there was nothing to meet about.
Right.
So it wasn't a matter of meeting on the 21st or the 24th
Right.
or the
The
28th,
only reason we would meet early is if there was an urgent matter that could not wait till
of which I'm
January.
not aware of
I'm not
any.
either.
No, but we do have a job posting out there and, you know.
I think we can take care of that with committees and whatnot. I don't know that the full board has to meet
Okay.
in December, unless you guys want to. If there's something to meet about, I'm all for it, but
I think it's good to have the December meeting in the schedule, because it's easy to cancel if we have to call a special meeting to address business and we didn't have a December meeting.
yeah, but if we're gonna cancel it, now's the time.
Yeah, I make a
You
motion
know,
to
it's-
cancel the December 22nd meeting for,
Moved and supported to cancel the meeting on December the 22nd. Roll call vote, please. Well, wait a minute, more discussion if there is any.
Would you like me to make a roll
I'm sorry?
call? Would you like me to make a roll call?
I will in one moment, as soon as I make sure that none of the council members have additional comments. Now I would like one.
Brooks,
No.
Green,
yes.
Hayden,
Yes?
Quisenberry,
Yes.
Falker,
Yes.
Nivell.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes 5-1. That our meeting, the motion was that the meeting on the 22nd is canceled. Is that what the motion
Yeah.
was?
Yes.
Okay.
Point of order, if I can, while we're on this topic for next year, which is what was brought up, the portion of this that would typically require a vote or an action from council is just approving that those are officially the 13 recognized holidays that we will have next year.
Yeah, but our motion was just to cancel the December meeting.
I understood, but I'm going back to what was the item before us, is next year's dates. So when you were saying before, I just wanted to say that the holidays are what I would require approval for. Those are the 13 that we are calling and recognizing as holidays for 2026.
Okay, so you are looking for a motion
Yeah.
to approve this time?
Well, I have,
No.
if we're gonna go there, I have a question.
Well, let's make a motion, and I'll make a motion to approve the village holidays as stated.
Support.
I don't have a problem with the holidays. I didn't think we had, and tell me if I'm wrong, officially changed those float days, that we approved those float days. So that's what we will be approving now, if we approve this. That means they can take it any other time that they work out and deem appropriate.
I'm sorry, I put that on to identify those. I think that is a personnel policy change that would have to be voted on separately. That was just for me to
Okay.
identify so you could see what we were talking about.
Then that's
I apologize.
Okay.
So what are you saying, that they could take a different day off
Yes.
instead of the third?
Yeah, that will come up later though.
Okay, because this
Well, I
was,
mean, it's on here for approving.
Right, right, right.
well, it just says that these are dates the office will be closed.
Mhm.
We're not floating a closed date, are we?
No, the float, and I apologize for causing the
No,
confusion.
yeah.
The float is just the idea that if a holiday falls on a Saturday or a Sunday, typically an office will observe it on a Friday or the
Friday
Monday.
or Monday.
So if it falls on a closed day, what we do now is we pay them for not working on the Saturday or Sunday. Instead, we can give them the option of floating and take a day that is actually a benefit to them. And then we're still paying the same amount, it's still the same 13 holidays. So it was an idea that we talked about in the personnel committee about, is this a benefit that better suits the needs of our staff? Because it's the same exact money either way. It's the same, you know, we're operating the same way. It's simply an added benefit. And so we discussed it. So I put those on there just to point out these would be the ones that would be float days if we adopted that. But we
But
wouldn't be
that-
adopting.
we'll have more information on that coming,
Right.
we're not ready to.
Right, so today is just about the recognition of the holidays. If we were to change personnel policy, that would be a separate vote.
Okay, so that's what we.
So we're gonna vote on it?
No, I mean, that's,
Well, there was a motion.
Yeah.
We have the,
okay, there was a motion to approve this letter.
Right.
Okay.
below,
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes, there was, the
holidays.
holidays,
Yeah.
yes.
And it was called for a roll call.
Yeah.
And
Right, here we go.
let's take on with that.
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
No.
Hayden,
Yes.
Quisenberry,
No,
Faulkner,
Yes.
Lidell,
Yes.
okay, they're approved. Or the motion carries. Takes us to cable franchise contract. As we all know, we've been wrestling with this for several months. We kind of decided we're not going to renew the contract with the township to have Greg Norman and his group film our meetings or do any other film work or promotional work for us, and we pretty much decided that. So this is just us confirming that we decided it.
Let's speak about next steps.
Yeah, yeah.
What you have in your packet is a brief regarding the next steps. Now that we have decided not to renew that contract, what is our plan going to be starting with our July meeting, or July, goodness.
I wish.
Yeah, July. With our January meeting. So we basically, Alex spoke about the two of us, I'm sorry, Trustee Faulkner, I apologize, spoke about the two of us talking about kind of laying out a plan. And what we had then was 90 days until go live. And so we kind of worked out what a 90-day timeline would look like. I put in there, this brief here, some information about some different options we vetted out and some different options we had thought of. Some being us doing things ourselves, some being, as the representative from Oxford TV was here tonight, is someone like that who is doing this kind of thing for a living. And others being more creative design, you know, or videographers and people who are shooting different things, who could do the shooting and live streaming, and really just kind of a conversation about what's out there, what are the options, what are the costs. We found so far that costs are actually fairly comparable, although a fair amount lower than what we're paying right now. Both of them, those paths were both quite a bit less money than what we're paying now. So always a good thing. I did include two things for your reference because I don't want there to be confusion. We tend to get this, the law says this, the law says that, so I printed out the law for you. That's the two attachments you have. Michigan Public Service Commission is the branch who's granted the authority by the executive branch to handle these contracts. And I highlighted for you number 11, which is probably the most salient part of it, which just points to what is a franchise fee, why am I being charged. It's kind of a, you know, an FAQ that this works through here. And that kind of gives you some of their definition of what it is, why we have it, and what can be done with it. And then the second part is the very dense statute regarding, it's the Uniform Video Services Local Franchise Act. It is a lot of pages that have a lot of text on each one. pretty dense stuff. Not something I expect anyone to be an expert in, but just for your own kind of.
Okay, well, given that, what are you recommending we do on this item on the agenda?
Well, and so the discussion I'm looking for tonight would be whether or not anyone here has a feeling yet, based on this brief and the information in front of us, which directions we should start going. What are we feeling would be?
So we're already
a
going in
better
those
option?
directions. It's just, we haven't come up with an answer yet, or a solution. And the right people are working on it, so this was just an update, right?
It can be, sure.
Okay, well, do you want us to vote on
I don't think there's anything to vote on. It's just a
franchise
matter of-
agreement? No, of course not. So we're not gonna vote on one, at least that I'm to be
No, I don't think
seeing.
that's what.
And this is just informational, which is great. And if there's nothing to vote on, we can go on to number C.
Well, no,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we
This is-
should. Let's
okay.
talk about it.
Okay, well, we can, no, you can't talk about it without a motion.
We can.
Well, no, you can't. You can talk about it when there's a motion, and
Okay.
it goes to discussion. So let's have a motion if there is one.
I'll make a motion that we request the village manager to explore with the 3 scenarios that he wrote up, with one with Oxford Public TV, the other one was a videographer, and the first one would be to record and broadcast our own meetings.
Well, I don't want to limit it to just that. He might find other things, right, Melanie? Or are we limiting him to just those 3 options?
All right, so you know what, I will take back my motion. Someone else make it.
Yeah,
Here you
please.
go.
I make a motion that we continue to look at our options, whatever they may be,
Of course.
and I'd like to have a little discussion.
Okay, all those in favor, there's a motion. Is there a support?
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Well, we want discussion.
Well,
Don't we get to discuss before we vote?
no, we got to have discussion first.
Yes.
So, I'm going to move around the table, start with you on discussion.
Yeah, I read through this, and so is that the lady who came and spoke, was she one of the options that you were looking at?
Terry, yeah, she's with the Oxford Communications TV. Yeah.
She would be like the middle option.
She was number 2, yes.
And yeah, I mean, it is hard to make any decisions without any cost analysis.
Right.
Okay. But I think you should move forward, and I did think she had a good presentation today.
But what do you mean by move forward?
I mean, I just,
Exploring their
my
options.
discussion is just that.
I think we're always exploring our options. I would never say
Well,
that's
we have to
possible.
just make a decision soon, because our January meeting, we have nothing.
Okay, we're always exploring our options, and we're counting on the village manager to present us with the best.
I just
The best option.
shared my opinion, and I thought that was a great
Larry?
presentation.
Yes.
I wanted some discussion so we could give our feedback on how we feel about these various options and get our input into the decision process.
Sure.
I don't think it's, at some point, we do as a council need to give input into this and make a final decision. One of the things I would like, and that I have concern about with the first option is because I really would question, do we have the right staff and the capability to put this in motion and keep it going, you know, as long as we need it. I would much rather contract with somebody who knows what they're doing, has everything set, and is doing this already. Because I'll just give an example. If you just go to our website that we manage, it's not set up. It's not in unless you put a lot of money to redo it, revamp it, you know, make it look better and bigger, but if it's, yeah, that's just my
Not
concern, is
easy.
that we might start out good, and then down the road, things just fall off because we just aren't maintaining it properly. And I would rather go with a company that would have that experience and just do it right, and we just contract it.
Okay, agree.
I think we have 4 options.
But we have 20
I really do. I want to go back to the beginning. I have thought on this and thought on this since we started the committee and we started talking about it. We pay township taxes, and I don't think we're doing our citizens of the village very much benefit by not forcing the township to give us our cable that we're already paying for, just like every other township resident in this area.
Good-
We will
good
be able
point.
to upload though. So anything that, let's say, if Oxford TV does it, they give it to Greg, and they have to upload what they video. Because it is a public,
I don't
and
care
paid for by
about that,
taxes.
Melanie, I guess what I'm saying
But that's
is-
important, that's what a tax dollar is going for, to have access to that.
Well, yes,
Yes.
we want to be able to have
Yes.
access, to have say. Right now, all they want is the money, and we have absolutely no say in what gets covered, or, you know, how much of anything, even if we ask for it to be done, it may not be.
If we use his group, or what Jason thinks is.
If we use the township, because we pay taxes to the township along with our village
I
taxes.
know.
So I would like to pursue that a little bit more. I don't know how the others feel, so that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Alan?
Yeah, I probably have a lot to say. So originally, I really kind of wanted us to have Greg come and be able to negotiate our own contract. We saw that that didn't really work out very well. So when we came up with these other options, it was either cost savings, which is us doing it ourselves. And I have 20 years of experience in filmmaking. I know how to make this happen. Once we have a
Well, you're not
YouTube-
gonna be on council.
yeah, but I can guarantee the 4 years that I'm on council, for sure. But once a YouTube page is set up, it's set up.
And he did say he would train.
Yeah, and I would train.
Any of us that are.
But that's the most cost-saving way. The other way, which would be very beneficial for the village, is Oxford, because they're gonna come here, they're gonna do what we kind of all agreed to do. It's essentially what we wanted to get out of Greg, right? We're getting it out of Oxford.
And more.
And more. So, you
Yes.
know, I would love to have cost savings on the main one, but I really think it's beneficial that we have somebody like Oxford, if you ask my opinion.
And we are, and we appreciate it, because you have knowledge and expertise in areas that we don't. So I'm very appreciative of that. And believe me, your opinion carries a great deal of weight. Mel?
And I agree, I just, you know, right now, I think Oxford is the way to go, especially with, they will do all the videotaping of DVA events, so, you know, we can, the old mill,
Sounds
school,
like you do anything.
yeah, so that we can call them up and ask them to do this or that, and they will, they have staff. They also, and she's gone, but they also use students, which she didn't get the chance to say, but I'm hoping to get them back to really present. I don't know what the next steps are, but they do use students. And it is a cost savings already, because they are cheaper than what we are doing. So we got an automatic cost savings.
Great.
Which I'm assuming, and this is what I have a question on, if we save, let's say 5,000, now you are saying we can use that on our own video needs. Because I don't understand that if we are being collected on PEG, we can't use that way. And so I just want to make sure that.
We don't have a peg.
Okay, so we can use it, all right. So with that cost savings, we could get maybe better sound in here or something for,
Exactly. You can get new
Yes.
lights, you can get new
Yes.
sounds.
Yes.
You can
And
do how we
I know.
see fit.
Yes.
That's what's the best part.
so we'll be getting, you know, already ready business that gets bigger coverage, much bigger coverage. And I think it's a no-brainer, but that's my opinion.
Okay, every council member had our kind of opportunity to discuss this. I don't think there was anything to vote on. So this was just a discussion item. Unless somebody wants to make a motion that involves the cable franchise contract, feel free to do so. Other than that, I just think we move on and we get more info, and then we approve something when it comes down the pipe.
It sounds like we have a lot of info. The only thing that might make it clearer is if we took a visit over there.
I don't care.
But I don't know that that's absolutely necessary either.
It could be for the people that are gonna make the final decision. if there needs to be a committee for that, I don't
We have a
know.
committee. It's Alex, myself, and Tony.
Okay, then you guys bring a recommendation to the board and we'll approve it, or, but you, as a committee, need to bring something.
We need to bring something to the council.
Yep,
So I think we need to talk with Oxford and get something in writing.
exactly, I think so too. So there needs to be some legwork done before we're ready to approve a contract with Oxford.
I have some input in the committee.
And I think that's wonderful, for the village.
When would we
I have
approve?
one question, because if we already canceled that December meeting, we wouldn't be able to approve it till January, and then we don't have coverage for.
That's why we said we might need a meeting in December. That was one of the main reasons.
Okay, should we, I'm wondering if it might be prudent to do a motion to authorize the committee and village manager to contract something at least for a January meeting.
No, never do it. Never
It's
have.
usually a yearly thing, and
It is.
everybody's voting.
And I don't ever want a committee on this board to approve something on behalf of the board.
Right.
That's not what a committee is. They don't get
And
to
if we
make a
miss one
decision for
meeting,
the other stuff.
I mean, it's not like we got millions following us, Larry, I mean, to break it to you.
Yeah, I think Alex could set something out for the January
Yeah.
meeting.
We can have something for the January
We
meeting.
can do it like, I don't know.
We can meet our minimum, we can meet the requirements of what we need to do for the state.
Yes, and that's the main question.
Yeah. That's what I thought we are.
In the meeting that I went to up in Big City, they said they required.
We have to take the minutes, which are supposed to be official record. I'm not sure if we require to do video.
Okay, we're moving past cable franchise contract, and we're moving on to planning commission ordinance updates. This is in unfinished business, but I don't know that we're here to vote on something, or is that not true?
So what you have is a couple of different ongoing ordinances that the planning commission have been working on developing. And I guess we kind of hit a snag in wanting to know if this body is supportive of there being continued work being put in on these ordinances. In other words, whether or not that request was actually made by this body for that body to be working on these and redrafting these.
So that body and was not approving this body?
No.
I ran out of
We
bodies.
did direct that we wanted to rehash the marijuana. ordinance.
Yeah, there were a few we wanted to update. Maybe.
I don't remember any.
Is that what number C is the marijuana ordinance?
They're included.
Well, it's
in that.
included in it.
No, we talked about that, but this item C is in unfinished business, which means there's something there we're supposed to vote on.
Not vote, maybe just discuss.
Well, that's the manager's report.
And give them feedback.
Yeah, the planning commission needs further direction as to whether the council wants there to be continued work on a winter parking ordinance, on the marijuana ordinance and making changes to it, and the short-term rental ordinance, which I wasn't able to obtain a copy of to get in here. So that's just a question on that one. The other two, the working draft of the snow parking or winter parking ordinances.
Wouldn't we want to see those first?
Yes, that's why they're in your packet.
Okay, and we can vote on them and they're all of a sudden now, they're an ordinance?
You could if you chose to. I'm looking for direction as to whether or not
Yeah.
we should continue working on them.
We're not ready.
The winter parking, we probably could, but the planning commission thought that after this, it was going to go through our planner and also the attorney, but I think, with the winter parking, it's pretty simple. The other one, I would not, we just need direction, not a vote on that. The winter parking, we could vote with pursuant to approval through our,
So,
having our attorney look at
can
it.
we do our discussion on each of those?
I find them to be separate issues anyways.
Yeah.
So if we break them apart into pieces, the planning commission is dealing with the snow ordinance and also the Airbnb issue and also the marijuana issue. So the planning commission's got a full plate. And when they come to us and say, hey, this is the ordinance, we're we're recommending you approve it. That's great. I hope that happens.
So the winter
We're not there
parking
yet.
schedule could be good to go.
Well, was this, is the planning commission recommending approval on that? Or were they just looking for feedback?
Yeah, we weren't completed with it, so I was confused myself. So we just wanted council's approval on this one. The other one, we wanted direction.
Okay, so there's actually should be two separate topics under this.
Well, they are, that's what we said, we did this one, tell them.
There's only one line
I make a
item.
motion for the winter park schedule to be approved.
And you think it's good, yeah, that you like it.
We just get direction.
Yeah, you did.
I'll support it.
Okay. Further discussion. I'll discuss first, and I'll pass it around, so everybody gets a chance to. I think that ordinance sucks. And I think when you try to legislate or use ordinances to try to make a big impact somewhere, when there really isn't that big a problem that we can't solve some other way. If somebody's parked, we can take care of that. We got an ordinance guy now who can enforce parking. We can use the police. We can use many, many means. We don't need to keep passing ordinances every time something doesn't meet our fancy. So I'm totally opposed to this ordinance. Over here, Linda.
Well, I'd like to hear Larry's comments first.
Well, he gets to go first?
Yeah, I
Okay.
heard that last time.
Basically, I have a lot of concerns about that too. I mean, I thought we already had, maybe it's just the main snow emergency roads. I already thought we had no parking 2 a.m. instead of snow emergency roads. So I wasn't sure why we needed duplication.
Because there isn't a sign every 45 feet from this road to this road that says you can't do it. Because if you ask the police department, they'll say, nope, we can't enforce it because there isn't a sign every 50 feet. And I think that's bullshit. It really is. We don't need to put up signs every 50 feet.
I agree with that.
We can take care of this problem another way. There's
I also-
more ways to skin a fish.
Yeah, I also would
Skip chat.
state that I know there's certain residences which are going to have serious problems with this, because especially like on Cedar Street, I drive down there, there's cars in the street. But if you look at how much space they have to park vehicles, they only have room to maybe have 2. And if you have a family with teenagers, you're going to have 3, 4 cars, and it
So-
may be very
So
problematic.
we're fixing a problem that doesn't exist.
And so I believe me, I don't like having all the cars around. Our neighbors have a lot of cars, and I'm not happy with
This
this
is-
law.
It really wouldn't impact you anyway.
It's just on Markey's.
It's just on real
Chapter
stuff.
3 Cedar Street. It says in the ordinance, it says every street.
Do you want to see a record in front of your house towing away your neighbor's
I
cars?
do not want to see a record.
Nor do I. So
Like I said, I may not like them, but I don't think that this is the right way.
there's a better way to go about this than passing an
I
ordinance.
agree with you.
That's just my
And
opinion.
I agree 100%.
I don't know if I agree. I think this is how we set rules, because we've had a car before, and we couldn't get towed, and it was a problem for us, and it was because we didn't have a law or a rule.
Mhm.
So I think if we need a rule to say, you, the car's been out there for
Yeah.
2 months and snow is.
I thought we did have a rule that says something.
It's-
I mean, it was not.
If we did, then we didn't enforce it.
That's right. And it's a double-edged sword.
That's
If you
not
don't
true.
enforce it, then you shouldn't have
Because
it.
it was not enforceable the way it was written. The way this is written is basically, the onus goes on the owner of the vehicle, and the police can tow it after they've given them, called them and knocked on their door and, tried to get a hold of them to move it. Because that is what we would do here, that's what we've always done here.
Now, let's just
So
let's just have a record on standby.
Is this the ordinance that we are just enhancing, or we never had an ordinance?
We have an ordinance, but the towing was not enforceable. And last year we had a vehicle
Yeah, I
parked
know.
for over 2 months, and we couldn't do anything with it because Sergeant Glover didn't have.
That's not it, my question is this
Yes.
an enhancement to
Yes,
the
it's an
current ordinance,
addendum.
or is this a brand new ordinance?
It's an addendum to it.
Because
So it does enhance, but it's an addendum to it.
Because I mean, I think if we have to, again, I know that Glover also said if we don't have a sign that says you can't park, then.
And the
he
DPW
doesn't
does have
it.
park
And
signs.
that's where I say that I don't want to go through the expense of having.
The DPW has signs.
Look at it.
The DPW has some signs, and we get those free through Oakland County, is that where?
From the record service.
Okay.
They're kind enough to provide.
Okay, you're right. Which would go up temporarily in certain spots that the DPW is most concerned with.
In certain spots?
Snow plowing, yes.
Like they get to pick and choose where we're gonna enforce this?
Where people are parking when there's snow
So
plowing.
when they
Most people
notice,
do not.
when they notice something out of hand, they will go put up these signs. And then we can enforce
The
it.
signs will be there from December through March.
Everywhere. We're-
And
Seriously.
You're being ridiculous.
No, because.
No,
that's-
yes, you are.
well, okay, I'm being ridiculous, but he and I spoke about it, and this idea about signage
Mhm.
is BS. We
Okay.
can enforce laws.
This is some,
We can.
we couldn't.
Okay, well, then vote no, or vote yes, I don't care.
Are we asking them to forget about that? Is that what we're saying, or are we, I mean, that's, they want directive. Do we want them to continue working on it or don't?
I would like them to not continue working on it.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
You
I
have
think
a motion,
I think it's a
so
BS
just,
issue.
take a-
I don't think it's needed.
Okay,
If we were gonna do anything, I'd say make the parking a civil infraction that we could find.
and that's exactly what this is, too.
Yeah, but that says your vehicle will, you.
And it's a civil infraction, and it's
And
after they're
no, it's
contacted.
just fine them, and if they want to leave it there parking for a month, every day is another infraction, and they rack up 30 days worth of,
And then you take the part that's never paid, Larry. I mean,
That's right, it never is.
it's just, yeah.
I make a motion.
This is a bad approach.
I make a motion that we send this back to the planning
well, we
commission.
have to put, we need to
And-
vote on our first motion.
Yeah, we have a motion on the table by,
To
Alex.
approve it, that's right.
Motion to approve it.
Who supported it? Kay supported it.
Any further discussion over here?
I have a point of clarity, but I don't know if it's necessary. It was just to answer trustee Brooks' question that what we have two things on the books right now. One is there's no overnight parking in the village from 2 to 6. Never been enforced, question about whether it's enforceable at all because there's only entrances or signs at the entrance to the village. We have issues with people parking overnight. We haven't chosen whether or not we want to move forward on that. The other side of it is there's a snow emergency ordinance, which gives me the authority to call a snow emergency. But the language of an emergency and the language of that ordinance and the capability to communicate it are all make that of at least dubious value to have that ordinance in the books because we don't have a way to communicate to our residents right now. We just don't. And so then when we had the issue last year, what this board discussed and asked the planning commission to take on was a question as to whether we needed to be more specific and take the at least mostly unenforceable parking ordinance and the winter emergency ordinance and find something in the middle that was going to serve the need of the DPW who needs to be able to plow
And the
streets.
police, Glover actually asked for this to be able to enforce it.
Because this isn't the middle,
And I
from
guess-
one end to the other.
I guess my problem is, I would have liked to see what it was on the books and how we are amending it. Do you understand what how we are amending it so that I knew what we added to the ordinance? I mean, I read that I've had all those, that 480 pages of ordinances, and some of them, I was not really on board with. But I did read through them, and I think that it'd be nice to know that this is the ordinance we have on file, this is where we want to give it a little more teeth. That would have been a lot.
And that was
easier.
what was presented, I think it was in either March or February when we were having that issue, and this board said, okay, let's ask the planning commission to develop something better.
Okay.
And so they're now returning, but now I'm not sure if the support is still there, and obviously my suspicion of it being that they're-
I view that as they punted to us. They punted to us because they wanted more clarity. We're punting back to them saying, no, we're not going to resolve this for you. You come up with an ordinance that we like and
We
approve.
did.
And I'm opposed to it, that's all.
Okay,
Of course.
We have a
But you
motion.
did what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
We have to go around this ordinance, yea or nay.
Yes, Alex already made the motion.
Can we hear the motion again, please? That's you, get to read it.
Gawker, sorry. Yeah, winter park schedule to be approved, green supports.
To be approved,
So just to get it.
just to be approved, okay,
It's
gotcha.
presented as a recommended ordinance,
Yep.
and it was moved to be approved and supported.
And this came out of planning commission.
Moved and supported, roll call vote, please. And by the way, call me last.
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
And no.
Hayden,
No.
Hopper,
Yes.
Nyla,
Yes.
Quisenberry.
No. I know. She did. So who's quick with math?
It fails if it's tied, it fails.
Time.
Okay, it's okay.
It fails.
Takes us to new business. No, planning commission ordinance update. That sounds like.
What about the direction for the marijuana ordinance? What do you want before planning wastes any more time? What would you like them to do?
I thought we approved this a few months ago.
You didn't approve anything.
This is adopted, is this the
That's
current?
the-
or is that
This is the
the-
current, correct.
Okay.
What did we vote for in
We did it over there. None of that is in this, what we voted for over there.
We didn't vote really for anything.
We did about the direction. We
The direction that you
direction.
said, yes, we do want them to
Yeah.
continue to follow up on.
To make our own.
Right, so why are we?
So this
asking
is
that?
just a copy of the existing one then?
Correct. I
This
want-
was what the court ordered. We are no longer under the court order. So I can fix it how we would like to see it.
I thought we were.
And I think why the village manager put this back on was,
There's a bunch of things.
Well, this is just the current one.
yes, and I think the village manager put it back on
Yeah,
because,
so basically, the planning commission hasn't worked on this yet.
no, because we didn't know if this comes, so we would like to see these facilities or not.
I think we should, my feeling is I would like to see them work on writing up an ordinance that would fit with our village. I believe that since the voters did approve, the majority of the voters within the village did approve, of course, the initial state level statute as well as the local thing. I think that it shows our community is interested in having those, so I think that we should still pursue writing a proper ordinance that we would be satisfied.
That is what the conclusion we came to at our meeting.
Thank you, Jen.
I thought so too, but there was confusion for some reason. And I have no idea.
Do we need any motion to the direction, or is that enough direction?
That, as the village manager will talk to the commissioner, so is that enough direction? Yes? Matt?
It's a hard question to answer. I'm
Okay.
working on developing one for you.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like 4 members of the council have voiced their support for the planning commission to continue work on wording, so that sounds to me like there is support for continued development of our own ordinance rather than
Right.
sticking with the one that's on the record. Because the one that's on the record,
Does
for
telling
whatever
the
reason,
planning
you
commission
have-
to keep working on it, is that short, or is that a code word for kick the can down the road? Because we're not in a position to approve one now, so we can forward it to the planning commission, and it takes it off our plate for a couple of months.
I think the only other way you can handle it is if you, well, I don't think I should even give wording because it might suggest a motion that someone's not intending to make. So,
Okay, and my suggested ordinance is, I don't want the planning department to waste their time on it. That's my personal opinion, because that's how I'm gonna vote when time comes to vote. But that doesn't speak for you guys.
Yeah.
So if you want the planning commission to come up with a new ordinance, we can ask them to do that.
Okay.
So I
Maybe
guess-
maybe it would help if I just do this and say, I make a motion to direct the planning commission to review the current ordinance and draft an updated ordinance for use of, for marijuana establishments, and bring that to council when they have it.
Sounds fine.
Support.
Moved and supported, further discussion.
That sounds fine. but
That sounds
then
fine.
They get into it no other direction of what we would like to see in it, I have a problem with that.
So we can give them direction, we're not
We didn't.
prohibited.
We
from-
didn't, I mean, we're just sticking it back to the same age.
We can go to every planning commission meeting and speak out.
We also have a representative on the planning commission, and if she has concerns, she could always raise and say, oh, the planning commission is looking for input on this or that. It's
Good.
Okay, a motion and support to have the village planning commission continue to review the marijuana ordinance for the village of Ortonville. I believe that was capsulized what the motion was. And it was supported, and it was discussed, unless somebody has something more to add. I'd like a roll call vote on this as well.
Brooks.
Yes.
Green.
No.
Hayden.
yes.
Quisenberry.
No. And I'm last, by the way.
Bacher.
Yes.
Nigel.
Yes.
And even if I weren't last, it would still be no, so just a hint. Okay, count them up for me.
4-2, motion carries.
Yeah, motion carries.
All right, motion carries, and this is now on the planning commission's agenda, and we should hear back from them, who knows when.
Find that just crazy.
Me too, but that's what
The
we're.
third item under this was the short-term rental, which falls under the same question as the winter parking ordinance. Are they, is the planning commission wasting their time, in other words? Because my understanding is the township has adopted a short-term rental. Are they wasting their time in making one? Understood, that's what I said. So I said I was not
How
able
big
to
of an
get a
issue
copy.
is it? I mean, I guess I'm just not aware of.
That's the question. It's
Term.
because the first one, the point came up that we're solving a problem that doesn't exist, I think, were the
Yeah.
words. And
Yeah.
that was generally the agreement.
Well, then-
Short-term rental, is it falling under the same thing, where we should give direction to the planning commission to say, don't worry about that for now, we'll roll with what the township has, or do we?
So Melanie,
Want
I'm
to
the
be
planning commission,
more
so I
specific.
I'm expecting you to present this.
Oh, you are? Well, I
Yeah.
didn't even know it was on the agenda, so.
No, but I mean,
Sure.
when he brings this up, I think, I don't know what they discussed at planning commission, so it would be nice to know what planning
And
commission
I
had already
did.
done and what they're.
Right,
what
right,
they're-
and I did, and our updates, I said what we were working on, which ones we were working on, and no one shows up or calls me or emails me, and please do, because I
No, I
love
just-
to get that information to the planning commission. But for the short-term rental, I think it's pretty much done if the council wanted to look at it. But again, you know, we just need direction on really which ordinances you want us to
Why
work
did
with.
they write
We
it
feel we're
original?
spinning our wheels.
Why did they write it original? Because I just wasn't even aware of anything like that.
Because
Not that it didn't happen.
the township was, you know, and I don't know if that
Township
was.
does what the township does. We do.
You're asking me, and I'm just trying to tell you. I think because the township brought on one, I think that Bob McCarthy brought it up, and it became a very heavy topic this past year with MML and short-term rental. So they were basically directing communities to get our ordinance on the books.
So we're doing things under the direction by MML and instead of getting direction on things that council doing.
I can't even hear you, I'm so sorry.
So the planning commission is choosing what to work on based on what MML recommends instead of asking council?
That's what they're doing. They're
That's
asking us right now.
no, I don't believe so.
One thing I would really like to see the planning commission work on, since we're talking about this, I really think that the fact that our burning ordinance is completely out of sync with the township one, and the fire department doesn't even enforce our ordinance, I really think we need to look into how we get ours in line so that we can make it something that the fire department can enforce with a couple of slight changes from the township, such as no leaf burning,
Are
and
they gonna
everybody
enforce
must
it?
follow the schedule.
Do we know they're going to enforce it if we change it?
I think they need to enforce it.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying, I think,
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think anybody is burning legally in the village according to our ordinance. see, the fire department has chosen to ignore the village ordinance and is.
And that therein lies the dilemma.
Well, I'd like to make a
We can
motion.
still have something ready.
Please,
I'm all for
okay.
it.
I'd like to make a motion that we ask the planning commission to table, don't spend any more time working, however you want to word it, on the,
Short-term rental.
Okay, I support that.
Moved and supported, is there further discussion?
I was gonna say too, I don't see that we have a big enough issue with that, that we need to spend any time on that.
My question would be is how many homes are being bought up by corporations for short-term uses and not allowing homeowners to buy
Right.
young homeowners? And if that's a high number, then I do have a problem with that.
I agree with you. There's
Yeah.
one reason.
Right.
There's one reason why what you're talking about makes sense, and that's the only reason.
Right, so.
And that's-
Because a younger homeowner
That is
can't
why
buy something
MML
because a
was
corporation
pushing
bought it
this.
first.
That's correct, and so they're trying to do short-term leases. So
I
if
know.
that's something that is an issue here, then that's my concern.
But we don't get the privilege of telling investors what to buy and what not to
I
buy.
understand that. Well, we can set rules and say, hey, well, if you want to be a corporation to come in here and buy X amount of houses, you're gonna have to come in front of the board and say
Hey,
to it.
I don't mind
Well,
making
and
it hard
that's
for them.
what the ordinance.
I don't mind making it difficult for them. I just have my problem is with government overreaching and
Sure.
telling private sector, you can't invest.
I just know we're coming to a crossroads in this country
Yeah.
with young homeowners and.
They're getting blocked
buying a lot
out.
of
They're
things.
getting blocked
And I
out.
don't know if that's an issue here, or in our village, or in our township, but if
I
it
think
is.
we have, are there 3 short-term rentals?
Yeah, I think we identified 2 for sure, no questions
Now,
about
the
a third.
question,
Yes.
does the township already have their ordinance done?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have at least something to refer to if they were to work.
And like I was just asking our village manager, we have identified, I think, we know for sure 2, but I think there's 3. We haven't had real issues, maybe one of them. So that was another thing that, started this ball rolling, but nothing that I would say is out of control.
Okay, there was a motion, and it was regarding
Telling them to not spend any more time
on
short-term.
the issue of short-term rentals.
Yes.
Okay, and that was discussed at length. Roll call vote, please.
Nidal,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Yes.
Brooks, Quisenberry.
Yes. This matter is returned to the planning commission. Building department organization, that's in new business. And what that has to do with is we were using the services of the township and their building inspector, and we were paying an annual fee, I suppose, for those services. And people would come into the village office and write out an application for a building permit or some sort of something needed an inspector. We would take it over to township, it would go to them, they would send their inspector out. Turns out we were getting billed pretty substantial for it. And so we decided to look at other options, and apparently the village manager has found another way for us to address the building issues in the village, and that is to form our own building department, which is 26 people. How many people are on there? Not just kidding. It's 1. And we're going to hire a building inspector to do that for us at what we believe to be a substantially less rate than we were paying the township for. So we're getting our inspections done, but just not through Brandon Township.
That isn't the reason why, though.
Well,
That's
there's
okay.
probably many reasons why, but that's the only one I know.
Yeah, so when our residents began being denied that service from the township,
There you go, thank you.
we realized we had to form our own building department. So that's what we did. We set out to build it. We now have
Let's just say it like it is.
contracted with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing inspectors, which are the required 3 you have to have. We're very fortunate to have one gentleman who's licensed to do both mechanical and electrical, which from my understanding is quite rare. and then another gentleman who does plumbing. They both have between, I think, 16 for one of them and somewhere around 30 years experience doing these inspections for all kinds of municipalities around us. Both of the inspectors of those types that we were using became unavailable. One of them had a horrific injury, and then during recovery, I think had another one. And so we were lost of his services, and so it was time to do that, to find those replacements anyway. But we have also had the very good fortune of identifying a building inspector / building official, which are two different roles. This is one person who can fill both of those roles. His name is Jeff Zoki. He was going to come tonight, but he was at a daughter's, he had something going on, and obviously didn't make it. So that was, it was a chance to introduce you to him, but he's an architect and a builder who's been in the business for a long time. At some point, I think somewhere around a decade ago, he decided to get into municipal building inspection, and so he's been the building inspector, building official in Birmingham since then. He will be working for us in obviously a much smaller capacity because we have very little activity going on. So the primary change, besides just having some quality individuals, which we did before, we love Jason Wilden, we love the inspectors we had, but unfortunately their services were made to be no longer available to us. So we're just fortunate to have found good people, and now we will be paying based on the actual usage. And so I did put some communication in this brief about us analyzing our fees, because our fees were set based on what we incurred of that process, and then the township was to have their own fees for what they were incurring. And so we'll look at whether or not those reasonably cover the costs anymore. My thought is they won't change that much, but we got to the point of staffing and getting all of our inspections caught up, which now they are. Before I got to the point of saying, okay, now let's reassess what this department's going to look like, because as a couple of you have mentioned, we're in a phase of hiring someone new, and that would be a person who is, I don't want to say administrating, clerking that department, I guess. They're the person who's basically the point of contact, to be scheduling those items, connecting with those people to make sure that those inspections are happening timely and all that kind of stuff, just that kind of follow-up administrative person. So it all kind of makes sense to work together at the same time. So that's what the brief was for. I was hoping, again, that Mr. Zoki could be here. He did get to come and meet the planning commission. I know he looks forward to meeting all of you. He's actually really excited about doing this. He's local. He lived in the township most of his life. In the village. He just recently moved way out, all the way out to Nuthatch Road there. So now he's no longer a village resident, but we can throw a baseball to him. So, but he's on the school board. He's on the planning commission for the township. He's a very involved, active member of the community. So we're glad to have him.
So is there anyone that's going to be on staff, or this is all as
Step up.
He has to.
So please, thank you. The person who will be on staff will be this office administrator role that we're working on hiring for. So as part of their responsibilities will be, like I mentioned, the administrative side of scheduling and doing the clerical work of, taking in the fees and checks and that kind of thing, alerting the inspectors when they're ready for an inspection, and then keeping a log and record just that they got done and letting them know when it's time for a final inspection.
So we'll be making a vote when those figures are available, or
What do you mean by figures, sorry?
how much will it take the person to do this job?
Yeah, so this was a job that Amber essentially did before, and so in replacing, in replacing her, we're replacing that. The difference is now we have our own building department. So
I thought you were talking about the permit fees on that.
I was talking about the permit fees, yes, as to whether or not they're reasonable to cover all of our actual costs now that we're taking on more of them. That's a separate discussion from what we're paying. That's what we're bringing in for revenue to offset that payment. As far as the other side of payment goes, these are all contractors who are just getting paid by the gig, basically. We have a per inspection fee, and all that is calculated into the fee permit schedule. So,
But the building official will be hired by us.
the building official is,
I'm still confused.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting question, because they are, and because the building official is a official role, I hate to use that word
He's
twice.
contract, and he's
So-
independent.
His work is contracted, but as he will be an official representative of the village, in that what the building official's main role is they're the one who looks at all the inspections, put all the record together and say, okay, now I go and look and issue the certificate of occupancy. So they're the last threshold, basically. So they have a different professional standard, primarily for, their liability insurance. They have a standard that they're overlooking the whole file. They're inspecting it themselves and they're saying, yes, we should issue a certificate of occupancy.
So none of these people is doing the organization, that we're gonna hire somebody to replace Amber to do what she did.
Yes, the
That-
clerical
that
side.
portion of it.
It will be a little bit more than what she did, but,
Okay.
yeah, so we're not hiring it for that purpose,
It's
but
just
that
part
will be
of
one of the
it.
responsibilities on that job description, yes.
This is
Sorry,
one of the
that
things
was
I wanted to discuss
unclear.
if you forgot.
Yeah, yeah, so all of the inspections will be paid at a per inspection rate, so, and again, that's, say you get a fee because you want to build a garage that needs electric but no plumbing, right? So we set the fee based on, okay, you're gonna need 2 inspections from the building inspector, you're gonna need 2 inspections from electrical, and that's how the fees calculated. It's basically the fees that will be passed on, or the money that will be paid for the inspections, plus the administrative fee to cover our costs of management is all.
Do we know what
We're not
those fees
making money
are?
on it, but that's what we said, we need to assess, now that we're undertaking all of those parts,
Yeah.
we've got to assess and kind of reset them, but I don't think they're far off. But they're set, the state code actually gives you parameters for what the fee range should be, so.
And those were all updated and revised January of this year.
Yeah.
So those are pretty up to us now, so we'll just do it again.
Is that what planning commission did?
Yeah.
Okay, keep the ball rolling there, sir.
Okay, moving to manager's report.
Yeah.
I will make this brief. You have the first sheet you got is a code enforcement officer update. That's a letter from Pete himself, just giving you an update on the items he's been working on. There's 7 on there. That really is not anything I need to discuss. Those are just items that he's been working on to make you aware of what the ongoing issues are in the village from his
I like
standpoint.
that.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, thank you, though, so this is great, yeah.
The next 2 flyers are both Christmas-related flyers. You've got the Village of Ortonville tree lighting flyer, which has all the information for what's going to be going on a week from Friday night. We are working on a couple more elements that we would like to add to it, but I don't want to discuss them openly in case they fall through. I don't want to set an expectation on them, but I think we're going to be able to add a couple of exciting things without adding a lot, just to add, up the experience a little more. The next one is the home decorating contest flyer. Again, as was very successful last year, we will be identifying the number of houses that will kind of qualify as they put some effort into decorating, whatever it be. Last year it was a very traditional. I remember the winner, their decor style was very traditional, but that doesn't mean this year it might not be someone who's totally modern or over the top. I don't know. And so, much like last year, you all will be presented via email with the options, kind of the ones, whether it be by category or whatever, and then you would cast votes for your top 3.
This is blingy, I'm telling you right
I
now,
know.
this one, woo!
We're trying to set our eyes. And so then based on your voting, which I'll begin collecting Wednesday evening, we'll be choosing the winner and they'll have the prize that will be
Will
announced.
he select the winner, either the first or the nominees, the first or the second,
Correct.
after this weekend?
Yeah. My intention is to have nominees to you by Tuesday evening, so that you all, if you're out and about Tuesday evening
Drive
or
around.
Wednesday evening, can go and see those ones and cast your vote. And then the winner, again, will be
This
dramatically announced
Next.
after Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving, each.
But I can't move the Christmas parade back any further. so
Yeah,
that's-
I know that.
Right.
But
So
that
that's-
is,
you're right.
that is a dilemma.
It's challenging this year, because
It's so
Thanksgiving
weird,
is so
yeah.
late,
Yeah.
but there will still be a winner.
Yeah, somebody's gonna win.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's a lady.
The next 3 pieces of marketing materials I gave you are from the, 4 pages, are from the M15 Michigan Byway, which is the new revival, I guess, of the old heritage route. Now, the Pure Michigan Byway program is a fairly significant marketing effort taken on by MDOT to do more celebrating of the towns along these pathways. So we have M15, obviously, right here in our community. It goes from Clarkston to Bay City. I don't know if you knew that, it goes that far north. I actually took my motorcycle out a while back when it was still long enough to do that and rode the whole stretch of it just to see it and kind of enjoy it, which was really cool. So you're probably more familiar with like the Tunnel of Trees, the heritage route of US 23, which are very popular ones because they really set the bar in marketing. And so they are kind of setting the standard whereby everyone else is trying to come into. And so MDOT's putting, the reason I have it on here is I've gone to a couple of their meetings. MDOT's putting a lot of energy and resources into putting these marketing packages together that I wanted you to see some samples of. The second page are we have stickers and magnets at the office that are the Michigan Byway with M15 and all the towns along it. And then the last page is actually what's being used currently. Just discussing a little bit about Ortonville from the M15 section of the byway site. So just wanted you to all know that I've been involved with that because I think there's going to be value for us in it. And so in those meetings, we're talking about how we can be more, what happened basically with the heritage route was that there's, I think, 10 communities along M15. 3 of them have a garage sale every year, but that was the entirety of all of their meetings was only about planning the garage sale. So the other 7 communities basically stopped coming to the meetings, or this isn't any value to us. And so stepping back and connecting all the communities and saying what things can we be celebrating together. One of the neat things is that you actually get anything that's within 4 miles either way of M15 can be part of your marketing. So things like cooks, or there's the Jewish school, there's other camps, there's all these things that are going around that we can include in marketing for us. Obviously, the goal being driving tourism and raising awareness on those things. Same note of driving tourism, the next page is the North Oakland Regional Chamber of Commerce. This started up to network Holly and I believe Fenton and the Brandon area kind of all together as one chamber. This group discussed it before, but it kind of has sat for a while. But we are intending to join. I've been trying to get a hold of the gentleman who runs it, and I think in very short order we'll have finished that. I just wanted to bring you some of their new marketing and kind of see their branding so you can be familiar with it when you see it. The next
They
slide.
also, when we become a member, can post the job openings. Just FYI.
The next item is 2 pages, which these are not for distribution. They're for your eyes only. They're all the personal contact information for everyone who's working for the village. You see there's a roster of this council, a roster of the planning commission, and the staff members of all departments. I did have one so far. I'm presenting these to you so you can correct me if there is any issue with your personal information so that I can get you the right copy within a day or 2. I know that Trustee Brooks already told me that we inadvertently added 2 years to her term, and she decided that was not the way she wanted to do that.
We should hold her to it, just locked in. You are locked in.
If any of your term dates are incorrect, we can get that fixed. But you'll see, we have the current boards and committees, the current positions of everybody, those who have village email addresses, they're all on there. So.
Now, is this, I know you say it's for our eyes only, is it in the electronic packet that you're putting out for public?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Just for our time.
Yeah.
I
Just,
wanna
we,
make sure.
we don't have no right to be giving out anyone else's personal information. So
No.
I'll take care of that.
No, but we should all know each other, so that we can
Yes,
contact each
yes.
other, so it is
So-
for our eyes only.
Right.
It's
Right,
confidential.
that's why I didn't want it out on the.
Confidential.
Yeah.
So my hope is that anybody who had an issue with any of the contract information being incorrect would have brought that to me now so I can revise it. I will send out a revised one with Trustee Brooks' correct date. I will change it from 2028 to 2032. And then the last item you have is a timesheet. That should be the end of your packet. The only other thing I need to discuss with you that's not in there is that we had an issue come up with some back pay being owed to a few employees because there was a significant misunderstanding, I would say, regarding how our time off policy works. And there was a somewhat recent update. I believe this board updated it in 2023, maybe, 2022, one of the two. And that update, there was some muddiness around the language that confused some people as to how it really worked. And it turned out that we did owe some hours of PTO time. And so we got those, we already made the correction, we got that paid out. But because it is a disbursement, it should be letting you know that it was included in the disbursement journal and payroll, but recognizing as I'm saying that didn't really help you, because it was just in payroll. But that was part of it. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was real close to probably $2,500. I mean, it wasn't huge, right? Considering that we were not intentionally, but somewhat shorting people on the number of PTO hours they should have earned, so.
But the dispute has been resolved and we're on the right page from here on out, right? Okay, that's all.
So since, will you get a hold of us regarding luminaries and send communication since we're not meeting in December?
Luminaries, all the items are here. They're going to be put out as normal.
And
Is there a day you guys will be billed, the day before?
Yeah, so it depends what day of the week it falls on. I think it's a Wednesday.
None of us know, that's why, yeah.
Whatever
So if you
Bob
can
wants
send
to
us
do,
a
what we're gonna do.
And
Tuesday, December 23rd.
can we use our emails yet, or?
As soon as you ask me for your temporary
Okay,
password,
and we're
we're
good
going
on
to reset them.
the
I'll be glad to
Oh,
always
okay.
ask you for it, and then we'll put it in together, so I know
Yep.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, so if you hadn't seen your notes yet, we were, I think, we were able to quarantine it, but I think someone was able to enter our email environment through a suspicious link that should not have been clicked. So I think it probably makes sense for me to kind of find a quick version of training on that to share with all of you, because you may not have been in an office that required that recently like I have, where you've seen what's going on, what phishing looks like, and how to spot it. And basically, don't ever click on any link, open anything in an email. Call the person and talk to them, make sure you're talking to them before you open anything. That's the gist of all the training.
I don't know, I think they want to take Ortonville and ransom, they want ransomware.
That's
They
right.
know we are loaded with money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's write them a check.
I'm real good when I'm doing my email, when I have my phone, I'm not as careful, and I have to realize that. It's
So-
still email.
To go back to the luminaries, the 23rd, which is a Tuesday, is the day that we will lay the bags out on the trailers and put the dirt in and put the candles in them. The 24th, we distribute them, for those of you who are in town. So we'll put out as we get close, we'll put out a text, hey, here's when we're doing it, if you can join us, great. Last year, I kind of felt bad because we had a lot of volunteers come to do the setup, and it took about 18 minutes, and everyone went, oh, wow, okay, I guess you didn't need much. So you just never know when people are going to show up, so.
Do we have the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts still wanting to come?
I don't know about that. Linda seems
I've
to-
never seen them come, I mean, I've done it for several years.
We haven't done the last couple of years.
Okay.
And we always need help lighting them, always,
It's always the
always.
big issue.
That's the hardest part.
Make a
So-
motion.
I guess we assumed that we were going to continue doing
I can do my
it.
block,
Because we already
sure,
worked.
I got a torch, I got a little one.
I'm all.
Light them all.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Support?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? I don't hear anybody, I don't hear any opposition out there.